Hello. Moving forward, we already from the bit logic, we now go through the comparator. If we expand this one, we will see here what the comparators element have. So the comparators, usually it's used for comparison between two values. So these values usually it's not a digital. We can do comparison between digital values. We need to compare between analog values. So depends on the type of this analog value, you will use certain element. So if we collapse all, and then we create a new network, and then we can use any of these elements. What these elements mean? This one is equal. I means you are comparing two integer values. So we have some elements for integer, which is I, some elements for double integers, which is D, and some elements for real values, which is R. So we have integer, double integer, and R. This is equal integer, not equal integer, greater than integer, lower than integer, greater than or equal integer, lower than or equal integer, and then equal double integer, not equal double integer, greater than double integer, lower than, greater than or equal, lower than or equal. And the same for real: equal, not equal, greater than, lower than, greater than or equal, lower than or equal. So to just for example, to illustrate it more, we just use create some tags as an integer. So if you go to our shared data block we have created before, we have integer, real, and word. We need to create another tags just for comparison. So we have integer 1, we will use another one called integer 2, and the data type is integer. Okay, and we have another one called real 2, data type is real. Okay, and then save, and then close, yeah, save. Okay, I'll just delete this one for now, and then just to save it, we have another addresses not being assigned. Delete it for now, just for illustration, and then close it, and then we open FC1. Okay, collapse all networks, create new network. We're gonna use our first one, which is greater than or equal integer. So we need two integers. So our data block is called, where is it? DB7 shared data block. So I will use, I'll say shared data block. We have here two integer values, integer 1 and integer 2. So this is integer, make it integer 1. Okay, and then we're gonna use the same one here, which is integer 2. But what happens? So that means if integer 1 greater than integer 2, we need some action, something to happen. So I'll put a coil here. I'll just say M6.0 equal 1. So if integer 1 greater than integer 2, it will energize the coil. That's example for the integers. We can use another example for the real. We can say real comparison. Okay, so let's say lower than or equal. Let's click here, lower than or equal. So I'll just use the same DB, which is shared data block. This is real 1, and this shared data block, which is real 2, and then we'll use an action, which is M6.1. So if real 1 lower than or equal real 2, it will energize the coil, which is 6.1. As I said before, this elements is very critical and useful in any programming. We can assign this real like for the level of the tank. If the level of the tank lower than a certain set point, we can energize the coil of a solenoid of a valve, or we can energize a pump, the contactor for the pump to start. We can do any other action. So very simple and very practical elements, which is the comparators. We can use equal. If the element equal another set point, another element, it will energize or de-energize something. So we can use equal, not equal, greater than, lower than or equal, greater than or equal, depend on each data type. Thank you.